not doing this again. It's a bit close, babes. Just sat almost a bit close. I will upload this because I, quite frankly, need a different camera and just can't be asked. Also, I put a jacket on for you guys, so the first time I recorded this, I kind of had them in like sections. My friends, I have none. Hi besties, welcome back to my channel. Basically, today I'm refilming and I will not say the same things because I don't know if the stuff I said was like kind of out of pocket and if it really needed to be in the video. But let's just say I'm kind of glad the footage wasn't good. But I'm going to be taking you through the books I'm unhauling at the beginning of 2023. Some of these I'm giving away to friends. I've asked friends if they want them. And I will be selling them on Vinted, if not. Because half of them I got from charity shops anyway, or like just from people that I don't speak to anymore. I might have like stolen one of these books from someone I don't really know. But this is going to be brutally honest, just my opinion. I want no crap from anyone. If you love these books, cool, do you. Don't listen to me, you know? Like, form your own opinion. I'm gonna do the Christmas books first, because I have 3 Christmas books I'm like getting rid of. First we have All I Want for Christmas by Maggie Knox, which is the Christmas book I sort of read last year just gone. And it was like, so what this book is about is 2 singers on this like country style X Factor crap show, and they go head to head, and basically they have to like fake date. I don't like it. It's long. There's tons of miscommunication. It was so crap. Okay, when I last filmed this video, I had so much energy. I'd had 2 energy drinks. I was like on my rocket, and I was like slating this book. But I will slate it again. So like the cover's really cute. I saw the cover in the works and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. But basically this book is like, so you have Sadie and Max, and Sadie is like, oh, I'm just a small town girl, nobody in Nashville knows me, and it's like, oh my god. And then Max is like, oh, well, my dad's famous, I just want to pave my own way in the music industry, but I also knit for dogs. For dogs, he knits sweaters for doggies. Nothing against that, it's just a bit weird. And then Sadie's like, oh, I really like Max, but he just doesn't feel the same. And it's not real love, because like we're both so busy and we're both going to be famous singers. And then Max is like, I don't want to be an alcoholic like my dad, but I think I love Sadie, but I'm not going to tell her because that's just like, that's not what the Brodies do, man. Shut up. Literally shut up. I think my favourite part of the book is when they were in the cabin and they were only there for a week. 1 week. That's like 3 chapters in this. And it doesn't look like a very big book, but it took me forever to read because it was just so boring. Maybe the audiobook for this is actually on Spotify. Maybe the audiobook's better. I don't know. But I'm over that crap. And after I read that book, I read Baggage Claim on my Kindle. 5 stars. I loved it. I thought it was so good. Oh my god. And to go from one that's so crap into so good, and I still think about Finn Beckett sometimes. I'm like, oh my god, it feels such a good book I read. Anyway, the next Christmas one isn't one that I hated. We have A Winter in New York by Tracy Silver. I enjoyed this book. However, this specific print has like ink splotches on it. Like physically it's just not like the best quality book. My friend brought me another one for Christmas. She didn't know I had it. She brought me one for Christmas and the print is just better. There's no like ink spreading or anything, so it's just like this is like a poorer physical quality than the one that I have that I'm keeping. But I really enjoyed this book. This is a cute book. It kind of took me a while to get into, but like it has really cute tropes. It's really cute. My card was full. Luckily I noticed before I spoke too much. Basically, where did I get to? Oh yeah. So what I was saying is, Every Day in December by Kitty Wilson. I read this like 3-ish years ago. Like a long time ago. And it's basically that trope where one hates Christmas and one loves Christmas. And the one that loves it tries to show the one that hates it why it's so good. I don't remember hating this book. I remember it being alright. The only problem with like getting rid of it is like I have annotated it. So maybe I'll just send it to my friend anyway and she can just have it. I remember it being really cute, I just don't remember it, so what's the point of keeping a book I don't remember? Catch my flow? Oh, I really don't like a lot of these books. Next we have 5 Feet Apart by Rachel Lippincott and with Mickey Dowtry and Tobias Iconis. I watched the movie. I watched the movie. I'm not going to read the book. This is the book where I was like, this book's not even mine. Like, I don't remember who gave it to me. I don't speak to the person who I think gave it to me, so I can't give it back to them, but like, I don't care about it. I'm not going to read this. I watched the movie once. I cried. It was a cute story. I don't need to read the book because the movie kind of just encapsulates all the book is. You know, it's like an hour-and-a-half movie for a book that's that many pages. It's like, it is what it is. And I know what it is. I don't need to read it. I don't care. The next one, I just kicked it off my pile. We have The Bird Room by Chris Cullen. If you don't know what this book is, don't worry, because I don't know what this book is, and I've read it, and I remember this book. So basically, it's this guy who's apparently a really good writer. Chris Cullen is the guy who's a writer, and he wrote this book, and I basically bought it because the layout of it was like kind of a bit different. I don't know. It felt different to me, so I was like, I'm gonna read this book. And it's like this guy was in love with someone, and then like he's in love with someone else, but it's like at the same time, and it's like really weird. I got this from a charity shop. I understand why it was in the charity shop. It's not a bad book. I think I gave it like 2 stars. It's just weird. It's just odd. The storyline is odd, but the cover is really cool. I like the circles and the photography and the colours, but I don't understand this book, and I'm not willing to reread it to then get weirded out again. It's like, imagine council estate, your like local drug habituary, hibitor taker, but they like have a job, and not that drug dealers can't have jobs, but like they have a job, and then they're like, they have a girlfriend, but then they have a side piece, but like they're kind of a nice guy, but they're also like kind of weird, but like weirdly highly educated. That's what that book is like, and it weirds me out. Like, I can't. Or like, when I was picturing that book as I was reading it, I was picturing like dirty carpets and like crap all up the walls. Not like crap like poo, but like crap, just like disgusting liquids all up the walls. And I was like, I can't. Okay, I'm not doing this. Ah. Okay, let's talk about a book that I did not like, because otherwise I'm gonna get angry. We have Jill Marshall's Perfect Timing. I remember liking this book. This book is a good book. It's one of those books where you find in a charity shop and you're like, oh, this is probably like 20 years old, but they usually have really cute rom-com-y style British rom-coms. It's giving like Notting Hill, but like wedding. So I think it's like a jilted bride or groom, and then like they're having a back garden wedding, and there's like teenagers that don't behave. It's just like sort of like mammy banter, but like in a love story. I remember this being really good, but I'm done with the book. Sort of like a library loan. I kind of just want to give it back to something else. It's fairly well loved though, so it wasn't a bad book. I enjoyed this book when I was reading it, and I thought it was funny. It's just not to the standard of the style of books that I read now. It's not like kicking your feet going like, oh, I didn't read it, you know? Like, that's not like book boyfriend material. That's like listening to your best friend talk about her boyfriend material. Two very different things. We have Lucy Keeling's Just a Boyfriend. This is the second book in the series by Lucy Keeling called Just Friends or Friend. It's still a very short book, but you have a beauty YouTuber, ex-gardener, which is like fine, and like the relationship was fine. It was when it got explicit, I was like, not like that. Like, I'm down for like a spicy book, but this was like explicit, and I picked this up on a little library on someone's front door in my uni town. So like, people put books in or magazines in, and you can like pick one up and take it home, do whatever you want to do with that material. But like, this was I was gonna put it back. I was like, I'm done with this. I was gonna put it back, but I was gonna put a note in it, be like 18+, and it was all the time. And I was like, I get you're in your 20s, but chill out, bro. Like, she was like, I really want to be a big YouTuber, and he was like working on her garden, which could be like a really cute trope. It was not executed well, and it was too graphic. An intimate scene does not have to be as graphic as this. Some are, and that's fine, but this was, and because I wasn't like prepared, like sometimes it will say like explicit content on the back, or on the front it will have like trigger warnings, and it'll be like, these things are discussed in graphic detail. Okay, maybe I should have got it from the dedication where the author wrote, "To my gorgeous boys, please don't read this book," because it is disgustingly graphic. Anyway, I don't want it. I don't like that. I hate talking about books I don't like, but I really wanted to talk about why I was unhauling books, but then I had to talk about what I don't like about the books, and my camera battery is flashing, so it's kind of slay, I guess. The Family Upstairs by Lisa Jewell. The story was questionable. The end gave me sort of like incestuous vibes, but now I don't really remember the end, so I don't really know if I'm like remembering it right. But like, I read it. I didn't like it. Some of it was good, some of it was really slow. I didn't pick up the second book, and I spoke to someone who's reading it at the same time as I did, and I was like, is it worth going into the second book? And she was like, I've read the second book is a bit meh. And I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm not spending my money on that. I'm not even gonna try. So like, if you don't know what this is, it's like there's two families in one house, and one lives like upstairs and one lives downstairs, and it's like this weird thing with like children, where the children are like not put in cages, but like they're not treated like humans, and I think that's why I felt like it felt a bit like incestuous, because this family like lives side by side. I can't, this is a very brief memory. And it was like, okay, spoilers, so like if you're not going to read this book, like watch on, but I'm keeping this in the video. I remember like the older sibling of like each family, but they were like weird cousins, I don't know. And the baby was like hers, or something like that. I don't know. Don't correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't care. But like, I remember it being a bit dodgy. Hi, back, if you're back from the spoilers. I remember it being very dodgy, and it made me very uncomfortable, and I gave it 2.5, and if I give it anything more, then I need to go correct myself, because that is not right. It should definitely not be anything more than a 2.5 at stretch. The writing was good. The storyline before we learned about the family's history was like alright. I enjoyed following our main character and like walking around with her 2 kids. And there were some intense scenes that were like quite good, but overall it was kind of a bit dodgy. I'm not gonna lie. So this gets a no from me. And I thought about reading Lisa Jewell's new book, the one with the podcasts, and they're like, there's a crime or something, and I was like, maybe a different style of plot would suit her better. Similar to my next author, we have Fix Her Up by Tessa Bailey. The tropes in this were just not executed well. They just weren't, it just wasn't my cup of tea. This is a brother's best friend trope, but also famous and not famous, where he's like a baseball player or something. I don't know. But I remember it, I read it in the summer, so I was like, I fully got the vibes of the book, I got it, I understood it, and I was like, this is really cool. After as I was like reading it, I was like, I just don't like how she wrote this book. I don't like her writing in this book. However, because I feel like you have to give some authors like second chances. I do have her It Happened One Summer duology. I have both of them. And I'm going to read those this year. And I'm going to give her a second chance. And if it's her writing, rather than just this specific plot and this couple and like this book with these tropes or what have you, then that's fine. Like, if she does a book with like her brother or whatever, I'm not going to read it. I don't want to read it. Fix Her Up, I didn't like it. It is just a style of writing, and it's like, it's not really fair to the author for me to keep picking it up and to keep rating her work low, and I just don't like her writing. Which is fine. I just can't. Oh, some books make me so angry. The last 3 books are the books I'm going to give to my friend Sky. I talked her through the books. I didn't explain my opinion. I was just like, I'm getting rid of these books. Do you want any? I have to post them, by the way. I don't really know how to do that. So first we have To Kill Your Family by Bella Mackie. this book was banging on TikTok. End of 2021, I think, start 2022, and everyone was like, oh, this is so good, hee hee hee. And I was like, oh, cool, hee hee hee. I hope it's good. I read it. It's not. The How to Kill Your Family, I thought it would have been like her intimate, like her immediate family, and like I guess it kind of was, but like it also kind of wasn't. I enjoyed the part where the character was in her flat and we learned about her and her mother. The rest of it was kind of weird. I don't think the kills were that interesting. I feel like she could have done it better. I also just didn't like the layout of the chapters. They were so long. And I made a TikTok being like, this might be my first ever DNF. And I wanted to. I was on page like, I was like halfway through it. And I was like, actually, I can pull through. I can do this. I wish I didn't. I feel like I lost a brain cells. But after reading this book, I read my first 5-star of 2023, which was Book Lovers. So, you know. All good things come to those who wait. This is not good. I don't recommend reading this, but my best friend wants to give it a try. So I was like, sure, you can have it. I don't give a fuck. And it's annoying because like I spent so long trying to find the pink cover and not the black one with the pink writing because I just didn't like that one. So I got like a pretty pink book. I was like, I'm gonna get the pink one. It looks so cute. And then it's like, if I was this murderer, I would be disappointed in myself. Honestly, like, if you read this book and then read this book, you'll understand what I'm saying. Because Katie Brent knows how to write female murderers who have power, who do it for, like, good reasons, not just to get money. They do it because men are crap. Okay, How to Kill Men and Get Away with It. A great book. A 4-star. The banter was so good. The characters, unbelievably annoying, but that is the point. They're supposed to be disgustingly annoying, a bit like Magnolia Parks vibes, where they're like a bit toxic and kind of gross. Amazing. I'm keeping this book. This book is not getting unhauled by me. No sir-ee. This book, I have been wanting to get rid of this book for ages, but I kept it so I could film my 2023 reading wrap up. And now that I have filmed that, it's going away. If you like that book, good for you. I did not. The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. I was watching a Destiny Sidwell video. I was going to read it. I was like, oh, I'm going to read The Hating Game next. Like, I've not seen the movie. That's what I'm going to read the book. And it'll be nice and cute. Destiny pulled up a video where she read her old 5-star reads. And she got to a point where she was going to read this one. And she was like, I remember this one being so good. But now I feel like I'm going to go into it and it'll just be, like, not good. And I was like, hold on a minute. I'm not about to be influenced in my book taste. So I paused the video. I was like, pause that shiz. I paused the video, read the book, came back to the video, and she was like, kind of a 2-star, like, why is there so many Smurf and like size mentions? And I was like, oh my god, yes, like, you don't need to reference the size difference between like a 6'3" man and a 5'1" woman. Of course they're going to be different sizes. There's like a foot difference in them. One of them's a man and one of them's a woman. They're not gonna be the same size. It's stupid. The only scene in this book that I liked was when she was ill. When she thought she was going to die and they brought in a doctor to check on her. That was the part I enjoyed. I just don't, it's not a bad book. It's not badly written. Would I read another Sally Thorne piece? Probably. But I think this was just written at the time when, like, you know, like Devil Wears Prada vibes, where it was okay that these characters had these certain niche aspects to them, and it wasn't cringy. But, like, now, looking back on it, especially the Smurfs, I'm like, I watched the Smurfs on my 8th birthday. That's kind of cringe, babes. What are you playing at? And it came out in 2016. 2016. I turned 8 in 2010. The Smurfs, long gone. I don't care about any second or third. The Smurfs, over. You should not have put the Smurfs in. It is just the Smurfs, I think. The rivalry is good. The competition for the role that they were both going for, because it's like work nemesises to lovers. Good. The paintball scene, slay. The writing, it was kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of enjoyed it. The Smurfs, get out of here. Who do you think you are? The last one I have is actually a 4-star read for me. I actually kind of enjoyed this book. It's After by Anna Todd. Okay, I got cut off again because my battery died. So I'm going to film the last bit here. Swivel. So you might be thinking, Jess, why are you getting rid of a book that you kind of enjoyed? Like, what is the point in that? I'll foretell you for why. If you don't really understand what After by Anna Todd is, it is originally a Harry Styles fanfiction. And we're talking like punk Harry, when people used to make the edits in 2013, and he had they littered all these tattoos on him. When he maybe had 20 tattoos instead of the 64 he has now, I don't know. And when you're reading on Wattpad, you're scrolling, so it doesn't feel this big. But when a romance book is 600 pages at 98 chapters, you have to question what you're doing with your life. I was reading this book when I was at uni last February. I was excited to read it. I'd had it for not very long, but I'd been eyeing it up because I never read it as the Wattpad fic. But I'm not gonna lie, every time I read the word Harden, I pictured Harry. I was like, who the fuck is this Harden bitch? And I had watched the movie. So I'd not read the fanfic, watched the movie, knew it was a Harry fanfic, then got the book and read it. And this girl I used to go to uni with, her name is Sophie. So hi Sophie, if you're out there. I was talking about the books I was reading. She was like, oh, what are you reading at the moment, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, After by Anna Todd. She was like, Jess. I was like, what? And she was like, I didn't expect you to read books like that. And I was like, books like what? I love Harry Styles. Why would I not read about him? I grew up reading fanfiction. That's fine. Not this kind of fanfiction, that's for sure. Obviously, you're going in, it's toxic relationship. It's the gritty, miscommunication. They're always just missing each other. And it's oh, will you just put it together? You're 18. Grow the fuck up. What's annoying about this, about me giving it away, is I kind of enjoy, not the cover, but the texture of the cover. I quite like how thick the book is. I quite enjoy holding thicker books. And it's you see that? It's kind of like it's floppy. It opened nicely without me having to crease the spine. It's kind of slay. Is the book better than the movie? The movie, I've only seen the first one. This movie, the first movie, is kind of less annoying. This is kind of annoying because they go back and forth, and that's kind of what I'm imagining Magnolia Parks might be like, and I'm kind of nervous. Do I think it's funny that this is Harry Styles fanfiction? Yeah. Do I think it's funny Liam Payne went to the latest movie premiere? Yeah. What the frick? But basically, the main reason why I get rid of it is, one, this is ugly, so it'd always be like that. And then people would be like, oh my god, you read that After book? And it's not about my ego. I don't really care if people see me read certain types of books. It doesn't bother me. But I'm not gonna read the other books in the series. There's 8 films. I think there's a book for every film. I'm not doing that. I'm not committing to that. This I commit to with pride. This is a one night stand, and this is the person you marry. So this 8-book series, committing to. This one, no thanks. But yeah, it's out of all these books, I've enjoyed 2 of them. 3 of them out of 8. 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 3 to 12 ain't bad. There was 9 I didn't like. But look at all the ones I did like. Thanks for listening to me rant about books and my very strong opinions. See ya. Hope you enjoyed. Stick around.